No? Oh. Hey everybody, this is Waldorf
This is Statler.
with another battle report. Orcs and Goblins versus Kingdom of Equitaine. And this was a pickup game at Island Games.
Island Games.
This is my Kingdom of Equitaine player that if you watched me a few battles back, I managed to misdeploy my spider and managed to lose the game on the first turn,
Yes.
basically.
And this is not me.
And what's this? Not you?
This is not, yes.
So, yeah, that's true. It is not you. This is a different Kingdom of Equitaine player. You just like poking fun of my games.
Exactly.
You know, you need to play a game.
Turnabout is not fair play.
I understand that. I've noticed I have not seen you pick up dice since we started doing these recordings.
Hey, we played in a multiplayer game together.
We did. We did. No, against each other, but yes, we were in
Yes.
the same game.
Yes.
Correct. So again, here's his. He's using the same army list he did last time. The Duke with the Blessed Sword, Armor of Percival, Duskstone, and the Virtue of Renown, which is the roll a 6 on your hit and it becomes lethal strike and does ordnance wounds. Paladin BSB with the Orflam, Hardened Shield,
It's a nice item.
Virtue. That's the one that gives you what? No, that's the one that
Fear and you don't get...
fear and you don't get inspiring presence or something.
BSBs.
So hold your ground. Okay. Hardened Shield and the Virtue of Humility. This lets him join the Grail Knights.
No, he was misplaying this.
Really?
Yeah, it lets you join peasants. It's
Well,
the one
no.
that helps your peasants out.
Are you sure? Because the
Yes.
Virtue of Humility makes you insignificant.
Correct.
And I think don't the Grail Knights, can they
No.
only be joined by
No,
insignificant?
there's a rule on the Grail Knights themselves that they can only be joined by a character with the Grail
Oh.
virtue.
All right. I'll
And
have to do
only
this.
one, and it's only. I had a chat with him.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the second time he's done this. That's why I was just curious.
Well, this was the case in 9-9,
okay.
so he didn't pick up on the change when it went to 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damsel, level 2 nature, Talisman of Roland. That's the one that bumps your ward save to 4
Yeah.
up for the shoot versus shooting.
and he puts it on his mage
He
instead
puts
of
it on the mage,
other
which
characters.
is good because she's not going to get hit. Another level 2 nature damsel. This with a dispel scroll. He took the MR1 with both of them.
Yep.
He had the points. I wonder why I just didn't save a few and take the MR1 my item with the other one.
Oh, he had it with both.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Paladin with the Flaming Lance, 2 units of 14 Knights of the Realm, 2 units of 5 Yeoman Outriders, 3 Peg Knights. I need to figure out how he had these equipped. He did not armor them up. They were only armor 3, I believe.
Armor 3, and he had. I know he normally.
And he didn't give them the Vanguard. I think he's keeping them fairly cheap.
He's
for
keeping
chaff.
them cheap because I think he gives them the skirmish only because he wants to use. He uses them as chaff, not as
Right.
as a fighting unit, as strong chaff.
Yeah. And unit of 8 Grail Knights, another unit of 7 Grail Knights. So, anyway, that's the list. I rolled up my spells and took a picture so I could make sure not to see exactly what we have.
It's always good not to see the labels.
The one on the left is the itching and
Yes.
scratching.
Yes.
D3 minus D3 in the movement initiative. Stay quiet. I'm hoping to get this off on a unit. When he charges me, they all have to take dangerous terrain tests and -1 to hit. It's nice. It's a really nice spell. Both again, I've said it before. Goblin magic, awesome. It's as good as orc magic is bad.
Yes, it's a very good lore. Yes.
I rolled up fire for my wizarding hood. Not a good lore versus Bretonnians because it's mostly strength 4 stuff.
Yeah, well, it depends what you got too.
So this is what I ended up with. I got the burning ramparts. I was hoping to get it off on a big unit of knights. Not that it's going to do much, but it may make him nervous, and it remains in play. So I figure at some point he'll try to get rid of it.
Yeah, but still,
hopefully to cut
strength
down
4
his-
knocks him down to a 3. He doesn't raise
Yeah.
his ward save. So
Yeah, I mean, it'll give a wound or two through, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was my thinking there. And Fireball is just a really good utility spell. I mean, just
And he has those yeomen, and he has the
He has the yeomen to pick off with.
Not well protected Pegasus Knights, so you've got some targets.
Yeah, and of course the Raging Fire, lore attribute. He had Nature, which is the move, the conditional move for certain units. So I just duplicated this Raging Fire lore attribute on both my mages. And pretty much the same army list I've been running. Except I made a couple changes. Sorry. Same unit I've been running, except with some changes.
Yeah.
I'm actually practicing for the, this is the first, I've been working on a list for the Colonial Carnage tournament coming up. So I have swapped out a couple things. I had to reduce the number of Feral Ed Bashers. And look at that deployment. Look at that.
Hey, they're not in Horde to be changed later.
It's the same movement trick, though. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
Just turn sideways.
There you go.
Anyway, the Feral Ed Bashers are still there. They're just smaller. The Ed Basher Boar Boys are there, but they've dropped a model or two. I've dropped one of the Trolls.
Then one Troll.
I've dropped one of the Trolls. And you'll notice off to the far right, there is a bolt thrower, skewer.
Behind the woods. It's a good place for it.
Yes, okay. And there's another one on the far left.
Is that behind the woods too?
No, it is not. On the far left, there's another one. And the new unit also down here on the bottom left, is a new unit of just common Orc Boar Boys. They are armored up, and I did buy their lances.
Not the Savage, but the Common.
Not summons, they're common. So they do have a 3-up armor, and they are strength 6 on the charge. Because they start at 3, bump 2 for the lance, and 1 for being born to fight.
Yeah.
So they can hurt things, but in this tournament, there's a need for scoring units.
Yeah.
So now I have 3 scoring
So you got something that can move.
So at least that gives me my minimum 3 scoring units. It gives me a shot at some
Orc
points.
Boar Boys, they're not going to fight main units, but they're medium cav, and
they can take punishment too.
They can take some punishment. You don't have to worry about magic, and they'll beat most light cav that's out there. You know.
They will, and they're a good way to deal with chaff. No one wants this slamming into a flank if you're in a fight with something already.
And they're helpful if you get weakening monsters. I mean, they're not as bad as they seem as a support unit. They're core.
Support unit, and they're core, so they take core points. So that's good. His army, you can see, it's kind of deployed. The 2 units in the center are the Grail Knights. 1 unit on the barely on the hill, the other one poking out behind his yeoman over there, and his 2 big blocks of.
Is it a damsel I see in the one Grail Knight?
One Grail Knight has a damsel in it. The other unit has the BSB in it.
Or they both have damsels. I guess they both have damsels.
Actually, they both have damsels. The one has a damsel and a BSB. The one on the hill.
Right.
The one on the hill has the armor of Percival on it. So it gives them the 4-up versus shooting. Also spaced out along the back row, which this picture did not manage to grab, are my 3 war machines. Still have 2 Get Launchers and did I mention I like this model a lot? I still have 2 Get Launchers and a
what's he eating?
Splatterer. Spider Riders do their Vanguard, their Scout and Vanguard out here.
That's a field?
It's another field.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been playing this a field. I've got fields. I just need to get them there because we've been rolling up fields.
Right.
We've been actually rolling terrain instead of just tossing stuff out there.
Yeah, I like that.
And the fields have been coming up, so I just need to get my fields there in the store.
I know you own them.
And they're a little small, though, I think. But anyway. So, turn 1. Look at the placement of that skewer.
Yeah, it's real well protected behind the woods there.
It is. So that way his knights have to charge through the woods to get to me.
Sounds like a plan.
So, up on the top left, you can see my spiders are coming in. I'm hoping to do a wound or 2 with my shooting. If I can put a wound or 2 on these guys, I've also got my bunker.
In the front row.
I got my bunker almost the furthest forward. They've got a few shots there. But I'm hoping to kill a couple of these Yeoman Outriders with the shooting here, and that way he can charge either one of these units he wants, and I can take them. So, because basically the Spider Riders, this is one of the only units that's going to do anything to. Following up on the left, you can see the Boar Boys hiking up over here. Nashers coming up there, and everybody else moved up a bit, but not very much at all. You can see I've got no real desire to get closer to these
to
guys.
get charged by those lances.
Yeah, I don't know why. Except for these guys, of course.
Yes.
The the
bunker.
The bunker. It doesn't have a problem getting charged.
Yeah. Now it is good because you're one of the few armies that can actually keeps fast cav when the characters go in its unit.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's a big advantage.
It is. So there's the other side of the army. You can see my mighty shooting that I was counting on to really do something.
Get rid of a guy.
I got rid of a guy. I've got a -1 to the movement initiative on his.
So you cast something
on his Peg Knights with my itching and scratching.
Yeah, and that's basically 3 Peg Knights, and he just does that thing with the base because the one challenge with the old GW Peg Knights is that they're pretty big.
They are.
And they've always on this 40mm base, so they're impossible unless you do like some interesting basing
you gotta
options.
do like height and
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Even if you try to have to be careful because the wing will still hit even the mounting pole.
Correct.
So they're really hard to rank up. I almost kind of wish, actually, I do kind of wish that the 9th Age would put these on the Monsters Cav base. I mean, they are Monsters Cav anyway. On the Monsters Cav bases, just to make the model, fit a little better. Especially since skirmish is an option.
Not unless they're going to give him another wound.
That's all right.
I don't like to see those huge bases and 2 wounds.
That's fine.
Anyway.
It's just, the thing is so big.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I agree.
And it's such a beautiful model.
You can also see there's a wound there. I managed one of my get launchers, scattered it off.
Okay.
The unit, it was targeting that big unit of knights on the left, scattered off and
hit the pegs.
Did a wound to the pegs. Look, did I mention I like this model a lot?
What's he eating?
So moving on, you can see on his turn, these guys make their march test. Not that they had to get that far, but they just come flipping around the Spider Riders and get in front of these guys. Not really sure why he's worried about chaffing up my Wolf Riders. But if he's seen me play before, he knows it's a combat unit.
Yes.
So I can't much blame him.
You probably watched the previous game you played and thought that it had like 12 strength 8 attacks or something.
So you can see over here is Peg Knights moving off to the left. They're getting in position. He's not really worried about my Spider Riders, but he's over there to deal with them. They're also in charge range behind the Spider Riders. Remember that unit of Boar Riders are floating around back there.
Right.
The other unit comes up. The other unit of his Cav comes up here in the center. They're just chaffing up my Boar Boys and the Spider, just to make sure I can't get very far. Those are all long charges, and I probably wouldn't have even attempted them anyway. But
yeah, and it's pretty far from you too. So it's
a little one thing I need to talk to Greg a little bit about is their chaff, but he's kind of throwing them away a little early, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, unless
he's actually hoping I charge him.
He's probably hoping you just charge, and it's a failed charge. And it's far enough away that he'll get away from you.
And bring me into his range.
Right,
so
right.
I mean, maybe he may be doing fine.
So I can see. I mean, that would work against some people. So
yeah,
why you would want to do that?
Yeah. So moving on,
and the stuff's painted really nice.
Stuff's painted really nice. You'll see it later on. I got a couple good photos of it. So there's kind of the overall board look.
Turn 1.
And there you go. You can see the rest of my war machines down there.
There you go.
It was this turn when I was shooting on my turn 1 that I realized exactly what I'd done with that bolt thrower on the right.
You protected it.
It's like, that's just a little ridiculous. There you go. There's his general. This is the guy with the virtue of renown.
Right.
And the big unit of just from this angle, the endless units of night following him behind him.
And he actually has shading. It just doesn't show up well in this pictures.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. His army is shaded a lot better than what we're seeing in there. One of his units is Grail Knights. And there's my bunker on the left.
And it's in the shadow.
And it's in the shadow because it's getting nighttime.
And you can see one of the walls of the hobby shop.
Yeah. Nice
crotch shot.
Well, that's good if that's the first thing you're going for. I was going for the nice looking knights here. And
I don't think you were.
Look at the banner on that knight.
I think you were trying to sneak in a crotch shot myself.
And he actually did a really good job on the checkerboard pattern back here on this red and white knight.
He did. No,
Keeping those lines straight is a nightmare.
yeah,
And he's done a great
But
job.
I'm going to tell him to watch out when he's playing you about the crotch shots.
So the 4 yeoman outriders managed to plunk off a member of my bunker. Right in front of my guys. I don't know if you can hardly see it, but there's a little counter there.
Yes.
It's a little marker. He's gotten off the curse of the wildwood, which gives me the dangerous terrain on
Right.
1 and 2 if I march.
Or charge.
Or charge or blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And the other unit of 5 yeomen, which are out here to the right, they shoot and they pick off a wolf rider. So, my bunker's, losing rapidly. I'm losing my combat effectiveness.
Yes.
So on to turn 2. The Squig Hopper, Nasher Dashers. Nasher Dashers hop over this unit of wolf riders and get into the flank of his yeomen.
I really love what the Army Book Committee did with this unit. It's, I hated the random movement thing just because it was game breaking.
I don't like random movement.
And it's, especially for lots of moves, but the fly rule I think is just a great way to work these guys.
Well, these guys with the D3 impact hits per every 5
Yeah.
or portion thereof. So I run them 6, of
Yeah.
course, to optimize it.
And
Well,
you lose one in the trees. In the field.
If you notice, I don't quite have enough room for that 6th guy on the right-hand side. So I had to put him on the left. So he had to land in the field.
Yep.
And he is Cav.
And Cav
And
takes
tripped.
dangerous terrain in the fields. Yep.
Tripped on the landing. So, anyway. And if you notice what I did here,
How are they pushing it? It doesn't have any wheels.
it's not that big. They picked it up and carried it. They moved up a little bit. You can see my bunker has moved back 9 inches
Yes.
because I didn't want to lose a third of this unit backing up.
How bad could that have been?
My generals, I think, was out of range if when they first started moving, so it could have been kind of bad. They are leadership 8, but
Yep.
Chance of doing it. I did not charge the yeoman out here in the field.
Right.
Left them sit there.
So you're just kind of waiting for him and working your flank.
Yeah. Spiders bounced around to the flank of these guys of the
Pegasus.
pegs. I figure I'll put some shots on them. Maybe put a wound through. Get lucky. What else am I going to do with this unit?
Or distract them.
The unit's kind of hanging around to either distract him or eventually try to get in front of something.
Maybe charge a router.
And as I also got the stay quiet spell, so he's -1 to hit.
Ah.
Not that important, but because I'm going before him and wiped him out before he goes.
Yeah.
So
Those 2 strength 3 attacks weren't too much to be worried about.
no, but anyway, this is for later, to tell you the
Yes.
truth. Because I figured if I don't make this overrun,
Then the Pegasus.
it'll make him hesitate.
Right.
If I do make this overrun, he's -1 to hit me.
Right.
So, anyway, great spell. And they make the overrun.
And you have a better initiative than the Pegs.
Than the riders.
The riders, yes.
Not than the pegs themselves. So they go ahead and make that overrun. These guys back up, you can see. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of okay, because these guys will probably get through the peg knights. I'm probably in good shape back there. My spiders around there harassing stuff. This is looking good. My bunker's getting back where it belongs.
Yeah.
Right.
Almost.
Well, close. Not quite enough, though,
Yeah.
as you can see.
That doesn't happen when your bunker's behind you once.
His turn, I think he needed a 10 for this one, because I think I was 18 away.
Yeah, it's not a bad charge.
I should have, he needs a 10. 10's possible.
So
I
what-
should have taken the dangerous terrain and just moved further.
Yeah. Or just fled when he did this.
Well, no, I could. If you can't see it in either one of these pictures, but 7 inches behind this, 9 inches behind this back corner guy is the is the Git launcher.
Ah.
If I run 9,
I see.
I hit it and bounce through,
Yeah.
and I'm off.
Yeah, then the march was a better move, yeah.
Yeah, the march, just take the march and take the damage.
Or sent something forward to block him so he couldn't do that. Which
I don't have
you
anything
didn't have
available.
that. Well, you had the spiders that you sent the other way.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Actually, they failed their march.
Ah, okay.
Is what happened over there. But this bunker. I'm really loving this bunker and the flexibility it has.
Yes.
I just haven't played it enough to
Keep out of the fight.
just to
keep it safe.
to not lose it every game.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't lost it every game. I'm just saying to not put it at extreme risk.
Yeah, there was an Undying Dynasty where it was the man of the match.
Exactly.
I think it's convinced you that it can beat everything.
Apparently it can. We'll see. I'm going to blow through that unit over there.
Yeah.
Okay, over here you can see his yeomen have taken a wound from my spider arrows.
He's chaffed you up more.
And
He's
coming up
now
to-
really chaffed you up.
Now
moving
he's
forward.
really chaffed me up, and both these units are moving closer. So now he's got easy charge. All three of his units have reasonable charges into any of my units. There's another good shot of him chaffing me up. And a good shot of the board. And look, this is just surprising. Off on the right, there's a perfectly good bolt thrower in the woods. How is he ignoring it and just ignoring me?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And as you can see by the size of these units, I have managed to chip off three of the knights on the
left
one on the left, and I got one off on the one on the right.
So he's down a rank.
And this is after 2 turns of shooting. So
Yeah, that's the one challenge with Equitaine. You get all the good rules about extra attacks and everything, and you get easy combat res, but every casualty hurts a lot.
it does.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing a lot.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, it's got
for
good-
5 pieces of artillery, I've killed 4 knights.
Yeah. Well, you've
So-
drifted a few too, and
So anyway, over here,
where's your bunker?
the bunker was right here.
Yeah.
It seems to be missing, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Well, if you also notice on the back of them, they have a little one of his augment markers on here. He got off the Beast Within on this.
Because he needed the augment to get the bunker.
It wasn't bad enough, but I
Yes.
think he was worried about completely whiffing and hitting this
Sure,
big,
sure. And,
big frenzied unit thumping into his flank.
and your initiative 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
that's also the thing with the King of Equitaine. If you don't get a really fantastic pursuit, you're often hanging out.
I remember I kept bragging about my 8 strength 5 attacks.
Yeah.
I did kill 2 knights with it.
I see that.
Okay, you kind of know that.
Yeah.
So if I could have fought this thing for another 5 or 6 rounds, I could
You'd
have
have
gotten
been
them all.
golden. Yeah.
Yeah, not so much. So there they go. They just go storming past me. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his models are all the older 5th edition Warhammer.
They are. These are the same
Britannia.
models I have.
Yeah, he likes those.
I like them as well.
Yeah.
I like the newer ones are nice as well, but I like
I like
Kinda like these
the
better.
mounts. Actually, a lot of the old ones. I like the size of the newer horses. They're so big,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they should be big, bulky, maybe 2
Yep.
wounds, maybe
Maybe
toughness
2
4.
wounds. Yeah, toughness 4.
Okay, anyway.
It should be. Yeah.
So over here with the stay quiet on him, he's -1 to hit me.
Yep.
He doesn't do a single wound to me.
Okay, it's because you went first.
And he actually had 1 left, and I pursued it and caught it and
Okay.
launched him. He had
As-
already removed
as the
it
spiders
at the
look
time of
on.
this picture, and the spiders were gone. And I'm not looking back. I'm like, why did I leave these spider riders to chance within 6 of this combat?
Yep.
Anyway,
If they were on the other side, they might stop that charge. Did I mention
it's
that?
just little things I need to
Yes.
start paying more attention to.
Yeah.
So anyway, they charge, they killed them, they overrun. Spider riders watch on and applaud.
Mm-hmm.
They're real happy. So the troll, it's already moved here. The troll was in between these 2 units.
Right.
Troll charged up, went over, clipped those guys in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's that charge marker up there on the top. Let's see if there's a good picture of this. Probably not. The Ed Bashers, the Feral Orc Ed Bashers here on the hill, he's put his Grail Knights, the one in the center of the center of the hill, he's put them 14 inches away from me.
So you need a 10.
So I need a 10 to get there on 2 dice. Well, that's tough. So I call the Wah. Now I need a 9 on 3 dice.
Yep.
Um,
Which is 50-50 pretty
so
much.
it's a decent shot to do it.
Yep.
See, there we go.
Yep.
So that's 14 inches.
He wasn't counting on the WOG.
I warned him about the Warg.
WOG.
I
Get
did.
that R in there.
2 or 3 turns in a
Kind of
row.
like you're a pirate. R.
Arg. Warg.
You know?
So, of course, they're happy. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is just the the downside to this, of course, is that's a whole lot of strength. It's not a ton, but it's a lot of strength 5 attacks. There's no character or anything in here to boost them.
Yeah, but he's got an okay number of strength 4 attacks.
He does. But I mean, I've got no characters to boost me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's go. Picture, look at that. And I need to lose a couple guys. Hopefully I'll lose a couple, and that way, if he doesn't break, I get this other guys out of my flank.
Yeah.
So we got that. A turn. Sorry. This was turn 3. I actually took the picture
Late.
I needed to move this slide.
Yeah.
Sorry. Elsewhere, you can see the Boarboy Bashers have backed up off the hill. They failed they were only able to back up 3.5, basically.
I see.
Which puts me about 9 inches, I think 9 or 10 inches from the front edge of that troll.
Okay. So you didn't want to help out those guys because it would position you to be
correct.
Countercharge.
And I want to back up because I'm thinking if those
Keeping
Grail
the
Knights
distance.
come into that troll, I don't want them overrunning into my thing. And I couldn't get any further than that.
Right. And you don't want to go too far. The other ones are charging in the flank.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you can see over here on the left, you can see the Boar Boys have kind of positioned
Are
themselves
finally joining the battle. Yeah.
to deal something with this unit. If they can get a rear or flank charge, that might be good. Spider Riders are coming back into the mix. And the Nasher Dasher is up on the top of that picture as well, getting back in. The Spider made its March test, of course, and walked 14 inches over here. Now he's positioned himself here. Now the general is in this unit in front of me, on the far right, in front of the Spider. He's the one with that Virtue of Renown.
Right.
But because I'm so close to him, he cannot wheel into me and still leave room for the Grail Knights. So this way, I've only got one of them. And I needed to chaff this unit because I needed to get this unit off my Boar Boys.
Well, they could have charged to the one side and sent the Grail Knights to the other, couldn't
He can't get past the rear of this unit.
he? Okay.
He can only wheel once.
Correct.
And if he moves this
Yeah, I
unit
guess
first,
it's
he
pretty
wheels
close.
and he's heading way
Yeah,
off
it's
to the
pretty
left.
close, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but this allowed me to keep them off me for a turn. This is turn 3. Okay, yeah. Look at this. And so that's kind of the overall picture. You can see it a little bit better there. If when that unit hits me and wheels over,
Yeah, it's much closer.
he's going to
than
have
it
no
looked like in the picture. Yeah,
Right.
you can't get around it. Yeah.
I like these overhead shots give you a good idea. And I'm managing to get my bolt thrower further out of harm's way. I mean, my get launcher. You can see it on the bottom right.
It's like off the table.
Yeah, I just keep moving it back. That makes it harder for him to charge me.
Yeah. So it's always gonna have like illegal moves.
I figure I'd put it on the table back behind me after this one.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and as you noticed, I rolled. He caused 6 wounds to this unit, which is light.
Yeah.
He's hitting me on 3s, but wounding me on 4s. He does have a lot of attack, but he caused 6 wounds. I saved 3 of them with
Really?
the 6-up ward.
Well, he had 15 strength 4 attacks from the Grails and 3 whatever he had for the character. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, anyway, they charge, they do it, they win, and then they ran them down, which is embarrassing.
Yeah, that's
I won by like 3, I think, because of the charge. The other weird thing that happens is
remember how many you killed?
I've charged down. I think it was 3.
Yeah, okay.
I charged down this hill,
Right.
so I get a bonus for
Correct.
charging downhill.
Even though you're
he's
charging-
on the higher ground, and I get the bonus.
Yes, yes.
So there's something a little weird there.
Yeah.
But
not a fan of that modifier.
yeah. So anyway, so I've got a bonus for that. I've got the 3 ranks. I've got a
Right.
banner.
Right.
And killing 3, he's only got 1 rank left. I think I won that combat by 3, since his BSB is in there. He re-rolled. He had a re-roll, but he's leadership 8. I mean 9. No, he's 8 because he's out of 12.
He's out of range as general.
He's out of range of general, so he's got a leadership 8. So it's a 5 re-rollable. And
Yeah, that's tough.
doesn't make it. That's
That's how you figure. Say 14 to make it easy. 15 should have hit with 10. Should have wounded with 5.
yeah, and he wounded 6.
Yeah, with just the guys, and then a couple more for
Oh,
the
okay.
character.
So we got a total of 6 wounds, and like I
A
said, saved
couple of
3.
horses. So he didn't roll that much below
Right.
below average, but a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So anyway, moving on. They're there. They're happy about that. Just dancing on the hill. This guy, the troll, managed to puke on one.
Oh, why'd you do the puke and not the?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I was thinking I didn't want to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to pin him there. I didn't want to kill him, so I puked
off
on
of
him.
your guys.
But then after I thought about it, I was like, well, if I would have killed him and overrun, then I'm out of the problem, and the Grail Knights are completely out of my range. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what I was thinking here.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a bad choice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, kill one, he reforms.
Yep. He was within 12 of this guy.
Yeah.
So he wheels in here. He did a little bit more of a pivot than a wheel, as you can see. Because if he could have actually done this, then the Grail Knights would have been there on my corner.
Yeah. It's like, well, it looks like he's just off a little bit.
He's
on
off
the
a lot.
side.
He's not off a lot. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But of course, that is his. And you can see the Grail Knights on the left made it into the troll.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have is that model in the front corner of this big unit of knights is his guy with the Virtue of Renown.
Yeah, but you've got 8 wounds.
Yeah, but that thing does 2
Ordnance.
to 4.
Yeah.
Right? D3 plus 1 every time he rolls a 6.
Yeah. If you didn't have a character on there, it'd be something to be concerned with, but you do.
And over here, he's got the Beast Within on this unit again.
Did you shoot him in the previous turn? Did we miss that?
I shot and killed a couple of them.
You seem to be missing a few knights.
He is.
Yeah.
And this guy comes charging out of the knights. These guys, if you remember, were facing towards the back.
Right.
So he charged his character out to kill the Splatterer.
And move the knights around.
And move the knights around to deal with my Boar Boys. And there's a better overall picture of what we got going on. Still fairly concerned about this whole thing. I'm thinking, I'm in danger of losing my Spider. The Troll's going to get rolled up. If these guys get a 10 for that overrun, they're on my Boar Boys.
Yeah.
My Boar Boys have these guys in their flank/rear.
Well, so if you didn't have a character in your Spider, you'd have a problem, but you just challenge them off, and that, as they say, becomes that.
And there's a little picture of what the kind of a point of view thing for the Nashers, looking down the line at all those.
A unit that every Orc and Goblin player should have in their army.
Yeah. Here's a unit of his Grail Knights and that charge. Look at that. There's my big Spider on the right.
He's eating somebody again.
He is. And there's a big guy with a sword right there in the corner.
Yes.
Ready to take that and swing it like a baseball bat, apparently.
He's swinging like a baseball bat. It's not a very big sword.
And he's going to pop me with it. It's only that blessed sword. It's only strength 4.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that big. So he charged into the... charge here into the Splatterer. There should be a bully there. He's somehow got pushed off the board. He charged into the Splatterer with his charge and his 3 attacks, and his horse does nothing. Just completely whiffed.
Totally whiffed.
And the Orcs, they managed to put a wound back on him.
Isn't that nice?
So it's a combat is a draw, He was not pleased with this load. This guy does have the Flaming Lance, by the way. That's that Flaming Lance. He should have had it down and used it. Is probably obviously his mistake.
Yeah, because he wanted to use that on a war machine.
Yeah, because you can catch it on fire. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So these guys crush the Troll, of course. They overrun and they come up about an inch and a half short.
Okay, what works for you?
It's pretty close. But, I'm looking at that and I was like, okay, yeah, that's great. But if I don't get through them, if I charge him and I don't get through him.
That's a lot of strength 7 attacks.
And he's going first too. So moving on to turn 4. Well, I've got no choice, so I go. The only debate was, let's see if there's an overall picture I can show you. The only debate on this was whether I try the long charge with the Nashers into his rear. It was they needed to roll a 9 or a 10 to get there.
What was the debate for?
Whether I sent them in there to soak up attack, to have him direct attack back on the turn that the Boar Boys charged the front.
Yeah.
To send them into the
Because you'd be worried about combat res?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So they go in. The Nashers decided not to send them in. They just hop back here so they're in position to deal with any of the fights. Spiders move up. I did, on the Boar Boys on the back left, the top left, I did try a long charge. I think I needed a 10 or 11 to get into these guys and failed. Even with that +1 strength and toughness on them.
You normally make those long charges. It's the short ones.
It's the short ones I cannot make
Yeah.
to save my
That should have
life.
been a given.
So here we go. The first round of combat's over on here on the right, and my spider has no wounds on it, and his general has a wound.
And I'm assuming you challenged him.
I did. I challenged
Yes.
him. He was not happy, but
No.
took the challenge.
That's what makes this spider just.
Putting the guy on it is kind of a multiplier.
Yeah, it's a huge multiplier.
There's a big downside to it, though. I mean, you charge into a block. If he's got a champion, you're going to lose that fight because a champion challenges you, you lose the fight by 1.
Yeah.
By his musician, basically. So, anyway, just saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got that. You can see I put a wound on his general. He's got it's a 1 or a 2 up rerollable armor save.
I think it's a 1 up from the stats.
And the, then followed by that 5 up ward save.
Yep.
So it's struggling. I've got, the spider. I've got the guy with the rending sword on there. Pushing, trying to push through wounds. Got 1 on him.
No, the guy is tanky.
Made my stubborn check, and I'm good. He put the what spell did he put on these guys?
Something from nature.
He put a nature spell on these guys. I'm not sure what it was. Actually, it should be 1 on me.
Obviously, it wasn't a good spell.
No. So anyway, so the war boys charge in. My orc general takes his potion of speed.
Okay.
Goes first and kills 3 of these guys, which is devastating to him.
Yeah.
Because that drops out 6 attacks. The rest of the war boys and all those strength 7 attacks, you can see he's killed.
No, he wasn't going to stand up to all those high strength attacks.
He wasn't. How many did I have there? I had a total of 10. And now I'm down to 9. So he's killed one
guy.
He is only strength 4.
He's only strength 4.
And I've got a 2 up armor and toughness 4.
Yep.
So it's hard for him to push wounds through there.
Especially with 3 guys.
So, yeah. So you can see I've killed him. You can see him back there on the top right.
And they're routing.
And they've routed and ran. I elected not to chase them because when I did the measurement, I needed I think it was a 11 to get off this hill and out of these guys' line of sight. And I can't have these guys hit me in the rear,
right?
Even without characters in it, it just would destroy me.
Yeah.
So
your general will be in the wrong spot. So
I make because I can't put him in the back.
Right.
So I make my restrain check and sit there. I started to form him this way and then decided to form him a little bit more to the right. Just the angle I liked better. This guy puts 2 wounds on my splatterer. I didn't hurt him, but I stood.
But you didn't run away either.
I didn't run. So I lost this combat by 2. I'm leadership 7, so I need a 5 to stick around. Well, my general's right there too.
Clearly, Orc and Goblin leadership's too high.
Yeah. So we go on to this one. He gets one of his renowned blows through.
Yep.
And does 4 wounds to me.
So you're down half. But
so cut me in half, but now he's 2/3.
He's down 2/3. Yep.
So I put squeezing another wound through on him. The yeoman, I have to,
It's amazing they're still alive.
He makes me push this thing back on the board, so now he says he's in range.
Oh, sure. It really sucks when these young people don't want to cheat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we've spent a lot of years developing these methods. So he charges this guy off, charges into there, and he goes ahead and takes this charge because at this point
he had nowhere to go.
A little bit desperate. He could have marched and got past him, I think.
That's not a good charge for him.
Yeah, it's not a good charge. And you can see this is where the Grail Knights ended up after their rally, and after their fleeing, and they rallied.
Okay.
So.
But they seem to be facing something that...
Those Savage Orcs just ate 8 of their friends.
Yes.
8 of their Grail Knight friends.
Yes.
They're not worried about 2 and a damsel.
Yep.
I'm telling you that right now.
Yep.
So we go on here. This one, neither one of us did anything to each other. So it was a complete whiff on this round of combat.
But you're making your leadership checks, which is good.
I'm making my leadership check. I've sneaked my general within 12 of him now, so at least it's a 9 instead of an 8.
Yeah.
I seem to be missing a bunker with a reroll with the BSB for reroll on that. If I had the reroll, I'd feel comfortable.
Yep.
His paladins managed to finish off my splatterer. He turns to look crossly at my spider riders.
He's also lined up for your boar boys.
He's lined up for my board. Well, he had really nowhere else to go. He's also on the far left, just off the screen. You can see the you can't see it, but there's a get launcher over there.
Right.
He can go get if he wants it. These guys go there, kill it, reform.
They're showing the paladin how it's done.
Exactly. Now they're eyeballing that bolt thrower sitting there in the woods, trying to figure out how they can get to it and stay out of the woods, which wouldn't be hard.
Well, since you only have to contact it, it's not too hard.
No, it's not. So here we go. He's managed not to get it through on me, and I've killed him.
And he's down a big character.
So that's his general. So his leadership of his armies dropped by 1.
1 most things.
2 actually, because this unit. Well, anybody within the bubble was 2 because he's leadership 9 with the standard.
Oh, he had the standard.
So he's pushing 10 out.
That.
We didn't. That's not in the list. It should be. So anyway, so I managed to kill him. The boar boys hold up to this charge and actually
shocking.
Don't do a lot of
kill the guy.
Well, if you look, I've killed almost nothing. I think I killed 2 of his guys.
Did you kill that many? Okay.
I think there was 2 more. It's just I've done, and I've got this. My general with the ogre sword still pounding him at strength 8. He just can't hit. So you can see he's killed 2 of my guys up there on the top. He's also got the -1 to hit spell on me. That's the tag up there.
Thanks.
So go to turn 5. The hoppers are coming into the side of that big long unit over there. Spiders over there fighting them. You can see the spider riders on the bottom. They're going to come into the flank of this unit.
Did you need them?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only strength 4 with the orcs. So that's,
but you got that big, strong general guy.
I got the big, strong general guy, but he only killed like 1 last turn, so he's not doing crap.
And he's only strength 4.
And he's only strength 3 or 4.
4 for the rider,
but
3 for the horse.
The way I'm thinking is if the general can kill 2, then there's only 2 attacks coming on these spiders. And I'm not really in any danger doing this.
That's
attack.
true.
And they really don't have anything else. I'm not going to go after his paladin.
Yeah, you just didn't want 4 attacks coming in.
Yeah, I would rather not have 4 coming in. The boar boys
still spectating.
They tried to make a long charge into his paladin and failed. So I go in. The general only kills 1. He rolled poorly against the spiders and only killed 1.
They killed the boar also.
And he did put the other guys killed off a boar. So all those attacks I have, especially the 4 strength 8 attacks hitting on 3s.
Yeah, no, we needed.
And I killed 1.
He needed to hurt those spiders to get some combat res.
Yeah, he put all 4 into them.
Yeah.
And just couldn't get them. I do still have the -1 to hit, and that's kind of hurting the general. He's only hitting on 4s instead of 3s.
Yeah, but you figure he was hitting your spiders on 3s with.
He's hitting me on 3s.
4 attacks, and he's wounding you on 2 of them are wounding you on 3s, and 2 of them wounding you on 4s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he should have done at least 1 more.
Yeah, should have. He got 2.
But anyway, so you look at it, and he's done. He did 1 wound. He did 2 wounds, and he's got a banner. And I've done 1 wound, have a flank, a charge, a banner.
Yep.
And did he hold in this one? So, and then over here, of course, the savages come charging down this hill again. I don't get the +1 for charging down the hill because you have to get off the hill for that bonus.
Oh, wow.
That is the requirement. But as you can see,
yeah, it mattered a lot.
That wasn't important.
Yeah.
And I did not run them down. They just killed them.
Yeah. All 3 of them.
Lunched them. So over here, you can see on the top, if you look up on the top where these guys have charged them, if I can, his guys are initiative 3.
Correct.
All I need to do is get a single wound off on somebody with initiative 4, and then I've only got 2 of those knights coming back at my hoppers because I can place them in the back. You know, I'm maximized on 3 models, which is all I can get. So anyway, so we go to this combat,
You
and
can get 4?
no, you cannot get 4 because I'm
20, 40,
I
60,
need-
80, 100. You should have been able to get 4.
20, 40, 68. I'm 100. He's 50 each.
And 50, yeah.
Oh, well,
So you cheated. Okay.
I cheated. What do you want? It's one of those other tricks.
Yes, yes.
So anyway, so I come in there. It doesn't much matter. Anyway, these guys are not dead. The hoppers, they just bounced back. He failed his fear check,
Oh,
terror check on this one.
yeah.
So he's hitting everybody on rough
Fives.
numbers. It's a tough fight for him.
Yep.
He's got nothing to do. So you can see the big dead. He's left with these 2. He is steadfast still, but he fails his steadfast. Ran,
Yeah, of
got
course.
munched. Over here, these guys held for that round of combat,
Yep.
and that was it for turn 5. And then on turn 5, at this point, we're going into the bottom of turn 5. He's got paladin, 4 knights, and 3 yeomen, and he conceded.
And the 6 by the spider.
And the what?
The 6. Oh, you
No,
said
they broke and got
away,
ran
yeah,
down.
that's
We
all-
just didn't.
Those
move
are all
them.
casualties. Yes.
We didn't move them because they're supposed to be another
Right.
6 or 8 inches to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top.
yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And he's really got there's no chance he's going to win this fight down here.
Yes.
The only thing he can do is the yeoman can kill off that bolt thrower, and the paladin can kill off my get launcher,
Right.
and then he's fine. And then that's done.
Yeah.
So he called it at this point. He's like, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
So
Clearly, your cheating ways.
Cheating
the
ways.
Equitonians out of their rightful victory.
exactly. So I got my revenge against this army. There's the big guy with his baseball bat sword.
Yeah, it was a wiffle bat. It looked like
Yeah.
yeah, this game.
That tower in the background. Look at that. It's kind of a nice picture. I like that.
Yeah, the lances look very impressive until you have to protect those extended flanks.
Those big extended flanks are a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a 20-0 victory.
Mm-hmm.
Or 17-3 plus objectives, however you want to call it.
Right.
But it got my revenge because after he blew out my spider that last game and
Yeah.
crushed me.
Well, he had a run against you for a while, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. I think that last game was the third
first-
one in a row he's won
Yeah.
versus me. I have something about this army. It's funny because I kept kind of joking around with him how bad this army is now.
Yes.
How much I think the Kingdom of Equitaine needs help
Yes.
in the current army book.
Yes.
But he managed to blow through me every time we played up until this game. So
and you did it with a primarily mounted army, just to rub salt into the wounds.
that was my mistake. I tried to beat the Bretonnians at what I'm good at, the Equitaine at what I'm good at. If I go to something I'm not good at and they're
Yes.
supposed to be good at,
Yeah.
then I can thrash them.
Yes, exactly. The best cav lost to the Orcs cav.
So who is the best cat, if I ask
Exactly.
you?
Well, I'm pretty sure the Equitaine players will tell you it's not the Kingdom of Equitaine. At least not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So, he blamed it on the guy having his visor open.
That's probably it.
That's-
I'm saying that you're cheating ways.
Or he could go with the cheating ways.
Yeah.
But one or the other, I took the 20-0 win, so, he's not getting that back from me.
And victory for you.
It's a victory for the Orcs.
Yes.
Again, thanks for watching.
Until the next time.
Until the next time, we will see you then. Hear you. Listen to you, maybe. Something.
Yes.
We'll drown this out in the music. Don't worry.
Is that what it is?
What's that?
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
If I
Bye-bye.
remember. If I remember. Goodbye.